Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Away. Away are the makers of luggage and travel accessories that both look great and function even better. So a little while back, my husband purchased a bigger carry-on by Away in olive green, used it and loved it. So I was super tickled when Away reached out to me to sponsor a video, and they sent me my own bigger carry-on in sorbet orange, which I adore. Love the bright sunny color. Besides the smart looks, I really love the build quality and feel and functionality of the case. Away uses over 30 different tests to test for durability and longevity, and it shows. It feels really sturdy. The wheels glide effortlessly. Other thoughtful design features that I appreciate are the handle at the bottom of the case, which makes it really easy to grab and to lift above your head. I really like the compression panel inside, which allows you to really smoosh down your clothing so that you can get everything to fit. Lots of pockets, and it comes with what we call in our house a salties bag for your dirty clothes. And along with my bigger carry-on, Away sent me this. This is the Everywhere bag. This meets airline requirements for a personal sized item. This is the trolley sleeve, so you can slide it right over the handle of your suitcase. It opens nice and wide. A lined sleeve for your laptop, gaming console, tons of space. So if you'd like to try Away for yourself and get 10% off your first purchase, you can click the link down below or scan the QR code above. Big thanks to Away for sponsoring this video and allowing me to make better videos for all of you. Alrighty, my lovelies, today I'm going to be sharing with you my latest Trader Joe finds, and it's a little bit different because it's going to start off with something that is not food related. It's a plant that I've been interested in since I was a kid when Rick Moranis reigned supreme. It felt like every movie contained Rick Moranis, including Little Shop of Horrors and a plant named Audrey. A carnivorous plant. I was a little bit scared of that movie, even though I knew full well that that wasn't a real plant. That plant was intimidating, the voice, everything about it. But it stuck with me, and carnivorous plants are amazing. They're carnivorous because they eat actual bugs, which is fascinating, right? So when I saw that you could purchase a Venus flytrap at Trader Joe's for $5.99, see those open traps and the red gaping little maws in there? How incredible. So it says, "Hi, I'm a carnivorous plant, feed me." It recommends keeping it in this container, which I don't find particularly attractive, but I think it's to keep the humidity. These plants are native to bogs, so they need to be very moist and maintain that moisture, and this little terrarium helps to do that. When I shared this on social media, many of you chimed in about different tips and tricks to keep my carnivorous plant, my Venus flytrap, healthy. And they said to water from the bottom and to use either distilled or RO, which is reverse osmosis water, because mineralized water, tap water that's been chlorinated and has lots of minerals, can kill our little Venus flytrap because they don't like a lot of nutrition, they don't like a lot of minerals, they don't want fertilizer because they're a very specialized plant. Incredible, right? Some people recommended repotting, but then when I read on other areas, they said not to repot, just to leave it in its little happy spot and just to make sure it stays wet. But it's also very important that this receives a lot of sun. So I have a south-facing window, which gets lots of bright sunlight. That's where I'm going to be placing it. But today I'm going to be attempting to feed it. That's another reason why it doesn't need a lot of fertile soil to grow in, because it gets a lot of its nutrition and minerals from the insects it consumes. The trap is open, it has little trigger hairs inside, and when an insect flies in and triggers those hairs, the trap mouths close and little digestive juices, I believe, digest the insect, and then the trap will open, waiting for another meal. Apparently they can open 4 or 5 times. I was worried that I might have harmed my poor Venus flytrap in the effort of trying to water this. I dropped it and all the traps closed. I'm like, oh no, but then I put it in my sunny window and within the next day, all the traps opened up again. I'm so excited about this. So I went to my local pet store and picked up a little container of mealworms. Mealworms are used to feed reptiles and other pets. I actually have a whole series of videos I did for Bugmas a few years ago on how to grow mealworms, to eat them, and prepare them. Absolutely fascinating. In terms of feeding your carnivorous plants, I read that you can feed them once a week with a mealworm or two. You can even use dried mealworms, which I feed to my chickens. You just need to rehydrate them a bit. So we can get a better look at things. I'm going to remove this cage from, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Isn't that incredible? Oh, just stunning. Oh wow, did you see that? How cool was that? It just went whoosh, lightning quick. Amazing. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see if it'll close. That one didn't close. Struggle. Oh, there it goes. Yo. Oh, look at that. It's struggling. It's gonna get out. It's going in. Sorry, buddy. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. If you follow me on Instagram, I will do follow-up stories about our little plant here and share more future feedings as well. But there you have it. I fed my first carnivorous plant and I found it at Trader Joe's. So stinking cool. Next, let's go ahead and feed ourselves. These are seasonal. There seem to be a lot of strawberry themed items at my Trader Joe's the last time I went, and these are teeny tiny strawberry rhubarb pies, which happens to be my favorite pie, and these are miniature, so sold. So let's open this up and see how it is. Ooh, I can immediately smell strawberry when I open it. Great. Here's the sweet little pie. There's no pie tin, it's just the pie. If you've never tried a strawberry rhubarb pie, I highly recommend it. The combination of strawberry and rhubarb is perfect. They complement each other so nicely. The tart tanginess of rhubarb goes so well with the strawberry. Plus you add a lot of sugar, so it sweetens things up. But let's go ahead and give this a taste. Eat the Lucky Malls. Mmm. Mm-hmm. First of all, it's not overly sweet. As many of you know, I don't like things that are overly sweet, but particularly pies. Pies can be so sweet. But this is not, and that's what I love because rhubarb is naturally sour, and I love that little bit of sourness in a dessert. And this maintains that nice, lovely sourness. You can definitely taste the rhubarb and the strawberry. Fantastic combination. Lots of crust though. When I make a strawberry rhubarb pie at home, I usually just do a bottom crust because, you know, wheat's a thing for me. So it's a little bit crust heavy for me, but if you love a double crust, I think you'll love this. The crust is tender, absorbs all of that filling. So it's not going to be a flaky crust, but it does taste rich. A little extra sweetness with sugar on top. Great. I am also a huge lover of hand pies, things that you can hold in your hand. This little individual cute kind of serving. Adorable. This is called Synergistically seasoned popcorn. What does that mean exactly? I'm not exactly sure, but I got it because it says tangy, salty, smoky, and spicy. All on popcorn. Let's taste it. Ooh, first off, it's a bright orange color. It smells like popcorn, not anything very specific. Smoky. Look how bright it is. Fluorescent. And look at the style of popcorn. Isn't that interesting? They all look like little brains. Whoa. Wow. They're super flavorful. Like the seasoning is in every little nook and cranny. I like it. You know how Smart popcorn has that dust of cheesy stuff all over it? This doesn't seem to have any dust on it. There's no little powder, but everything is so evenly coated, but it doesn't leave any residue on your fingers, which is kind of great. It's kind of like barbecue. There's definitely a smokiness to it, but it's also a little bit tangy, which is interesting. I think the only tangy thing that comes to mind when I think of snacks is salt and vinegar chips, which I like. But this has a tanginess, but it doesn't smell vinegary, which to me sometimes I find if I'm not in the mood for salt and vinegar chips, the vinegar is a little off-putting. Might be just the tiniest little bit of spice to it too. A little bit of gentle heat. Oh yeah, spicy. One thing I have to say is the texture isn't very crunchy, but pre-popped popcorn, whenever you buy it seasoned already, always for me tends to be a little bit slightly soggy. Very curious to see what my kids think because they love popcorn. We usually season ours when we pop it at home with nutritional yeast, melted butter, tons of black pepper, and a little bit of salt. I had never seen these before. These are Trader Joe's organic frosted toaster pastries. These are basically Trader Joe's Pop-Tarts. Have they had these forever and I just didn't know about them? I never really loved Pop-Tarts. Maybe they were convenient and that's why my parents got them, but they always seem to be around. I'm just curious to see how the Trader Joe ones compare to my memory of strawberry Pop-Tarts. These are organic. I'm not really concerned because if you're eating a Pop-Tart, you're eating a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart, if you're not familiar with them, are toaster pastries that are kind of like a cookie. You pop them into the toaster to warm them up, but I always ate them cold. And they had a little bit of frosting on the outside, and inside was basically strawberry jam. I never really liked the crust much. I would always break that off. And these are wrapped just how I remember them, in a 3-pack, and they were doubled. Yes, these are doubled too, even though these are Trader Joe brand. Exactly, and this Mylar packaging, exactly. Yep, the size looks about right. Strawberry one that I remember, I think they had pink flecks in the frosting. Looks right. It's pretty close to what I remember. It's hard to say exactly because I don't have a true Pop-Tart next to me, but essentially the same. In my opinion, not that great. It's kind of like if a graham cracker decided it wanted to be a cookie and got a little bit hydrated. You know, if you let a graham cracker sit out on a muggy day and it would absorb moisture from the air and get a little bit soggy. That's what the crust is a bit like. Then you've got a smear of strawberry jam between those two soggy graham cracker layers. But I have to say the strawberry flavor is pretty good. I like the crackle of the icing on top. You get a little bit of a kind of crunch on the top. It is pretty sweet, and I find the edges to be a little bit extra. I don't need all that. I just want the filling in the middle. If you like Pop-Tarts, particularly strawberry or chocolate, those are the two flavors that I saw, then you're at Trader Joe's. Here you go. It doesn't seem like any shrinkflation has happened here, which I appreciate, because I imagine the Pop-Tarts that I would find at the supermarket would probably be a lot smaller and be floating around the box, I would imagine. Just my guess. Let me know down in the comments if my hunch is true. Lovelies, I just realized I forgot I have one more item to taste, and it is this. This is a Japanese souffle cheesecake, and to serve it, you have to let it sit at room temperature. And I had mine sitting on top of the microwave, and I said, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about you, friend. So I've made many cheesecakes on this channel, including a Japanese style cheesecake, and I'll put a link to it if you want to make one of these at home for yourself. A little bit wrinkly on the top, but let's go ahead and open it. Oh, it looks so cute. Look at that. It smells a little bit buttered, creamy. Oh, here we go. Itadakimasu. It's so delicate. Look at this texture. It's so fluffy. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear this? Very, very airy, foamy even, creamy, just lightly sweetened, but oh so delicate. Now, do not expect a New York style cheesecake experience with this. This is much, much lighter. This is so airy and delicate. It's almost like an angel food cake in that kind of lightness, but it's not bouncy. Definitely has a cream cheese flavor, slightly tangy, but very light, almost more like cream. And I think this serving suggestion is a good one. Just putting a sliced strawberry on top, be a perfect combination, kind of like a strawberry shortcake. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks for joining me for my first carnivorous plant feeding experience. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And big thanks to Away for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to get 10% off your first Away purchase, you can click the link down below or scan the QR code above. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends, follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Strawberry pie, carnivorous plants. I mean, what a good day. Oops.